And countdown. Boom.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock day trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.
Thumbs up.
Tune in daily, don't miss a
All
single show.
links.
Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow.
Nobody seems to want to use Linktree, but hey, I can ask.
Every morning I wake up to the sound.
Pin message, and then it's up there. Make sure I've got everything set up. Bum, 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 bum.
Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any
U.S. to
less.
provide Ukraine intelligence on Russian energy infrastructure. OpenAI dethroned SpaceX as world's most valuable startup. United Health CVS. Scale back Medicare. U.S. announced job cuts. Declined 37% in September. Caterpillar emerges as AI power play. On demand for turbines. Huh. Interesting. Morning, Daniel. Okay. I'm going to get started. I've got enough that I'm not going to do scans. I'm just going to kind of get into this because there is going to be it's not necessarily, oh my God, it's stock. It's more process driven today. Morning, Harold T. Drift. I brought up SoFi yesterday. It's clearly not Robinhood as it's doing, but it's bouncing back 2%. So we had a big drug push yesterday with Lilly, Merck, Pfizer, Bristol Myers. God, J&J's the one that won. Didn't come up. There are 3 new features with Seeking Alpha, and one that you should be following that's fun. Every Friday they have a Seeking Alpha News weekly investment quiz, and you can take them every week, and so just follow that account. I'm going to go over that. I created a scan for underperformers, and we'll go over that and the process that I did in Trendspider to use Sidekick to come up with that. And this is just a prompt in perplexity to save myself the 25 questions. Here are the top performers in Q3. We'll go over that. I don't know if I listed them before, but hey, it's a news story because the S&P is now again at all-time highs. The October watch list, off to a good start. Good start. We'll go to let's go and bonus podcast. There we go. And if you didn't know, I was live yesterday with scalping alpha picks. And so yeah, it was good. It was good. In fact, let me see. The alpha pick, how am I going to do this? Let's see. I think I wound up the day 1%. I bought a bunch of it. I was going to try, but I got a couple of things that I really wanted to go over because, again, we're at all-time highs. And I got a bunch of messages from people last night. What do I do? I think I got 4 or 5 different emails. It's all-time highs, and seasonally we didn't go down. What do I do? Because they don't listen to every show. Vacation Guy Bob, you guys who show up in the mornings, you're diehards. I certainly appreciate it, but I don't think everybody listens to the show every day. So you got Hood up 1.52 after being down 2%. You want a down day? Yesterday was a down day. You want an opportunity to buy IBIT? You had an opportunity to buy IBIT. You wanted an opportunity to buy Lilly? I said it's going to cover this gap up to 900. It's at 825. To quote JD Vance again, did you say thank you? Did you say thank you? NVIDIA is going to be a $200 stock by the end of the year. At some point in time, it will hit 200. Do you want to take that risk reward? because right now, I would say 160 is kind of the we can pull this up probably to here, I would think, and we're going to shrink this down because it doesn't go that far out. I would think you could pull that around 160, 170 as the line. Palo Alto Networks, it's setting up nicely that 200 is the support level right there. So Palantir, I think the support level is 160. So again, you're going to have a big freaking day today, a big day. So I just wanted to come on and do a quick show, but those are the only topics that I'm coming up with. So in case you're just here for the scans or something, but I'm going to turn on my do not disturb. And let me just delete that so I don't see it. There we go. Okay. The ASMR folks are going to get their wish today. I had yogurt. Okay, so let's do this. Good morning. It is Thursday, October 2nd. I know I said I was going to take off, but I got like 4 or 5 things to go over. It's not going to be a huge show. It's going to be feature rich because alpha picks, I'll go over exactly what I did yesterday with the alpha picks because I'm winning again. Just kind of is what it is. What stocks performed best in Q3 and finding historically the best stocks in Q4 that are currently underperforming. So good little trick here. Again, using the tools that we have in front of us. Seeking Alpha put out 4 new features that they have launched. Drug companies got a major push, and we've got SoFi. And an interesting tidbit on Netflix that I want to bring up because Netflix has been in a little bit, if you haven't noticed and you own Netflix, you should. It's been in a little bit of a downturn. So let's first start going over alpha picks, okay? Yesterday, we got an alpha pick. It's the 1st and the 15th. This is a portfolio that has outperformed the S&P. I am not a huge fan of, hey, here are a bunch of stocks and here's when you buy them and here's when you sell them. But I've become a fan of this over the last year. I am up 50, 60%, managing my own alpha picks portfolio. Didn't realize how it was good until last month. I really started looking at it. I don't follow the full portfolio holding, but if you look in the right-hand column and you have alpha picks, they have what's called a holding percentage when you look at the portfolio. When you are on the page and you just go over here to alpha picks on the left-hand side, once you subscribe at Seeking Alpha, and you look, there's a holding percentage when you look at the portfolio. That's how you set it up. And if you want to find out how I set mine up, go to youtube.com and then the @ daily stock pick. Okay? And I have a playlist of tools I use. Go over here, and we're not going to play this one, but down here, I bought $50,000 of alpha picks portfolio. How and why? And that is a very simple, 14-minute video of how I bought this, how I wound up buying the alpha picks. It was from August of last year. Well, it was 11 months ago, so maybe it was November. But again, this is how I bought it. Now, did I buy $50,000? Yes, at that time I did. I have added quite a bit to this portfolio, quite a bit. So what did I do yesterday? Well, I recorded a video yesterday of me basically buying the alpha pick. Okay, and yesterday it was announced it's a technology company, and I said, you know what? We're in an AI market. Let's just go in big. I went in big. I was up 2% at one point within an hour. It wasn't a 10% move because it was too large of a market cap. Because if you go over to dailystockpick.substack.com, which is my newsletter, you can see the education portion right here. Here are the rules and the process that we follow twice a month. Okay, go to the website around noon, refresh the hell out of it. If it's a small cap stock that's $500 million in cap or lower, or just around there, it should move higher. And in the last couple of months, we've had a couple that have moved 10%. Pull up a 1 minute, 5 minute chart, wait for confirmation. If I were waiting to lose confirmation, I would have gotten out with a 2% gain yesterday. Don't linger in the trade if that's what you are. I didn't get out. I'm still in. I'm up, I think, about 1% right now. It's a stock that had moved already, and they go over everything. Again, in Alpha Picks, they literally give you a full newsletter just on that stock. So again, remember, this is a portfolio that I have been in myself, and I have heavy six figures into this portfolio. It is a very good portfolio. Oh, and FYI, let me give you an example. UNFI. This one I brought up that was up 20% on Monday based on earnings. Well, it was up 5% yesterday. Again, this is Alpha Picks, and I brought this up last week when I said, you know what? And I put this out there. To quote JD Vance, have you said thank you? Because I started trading this when the 4-hour algorithm in Trendspider said to do it. Okay, and I am way up on this buy right here. If we just look at this buy, how much am I up? 48 days, 52%. Combine the tools, and you're paying for the tools themselves. Again, this is Trendspider. But when you get Alpha Picks, you get UNFI as part of the portfolio. So just to give you an idea, by the way, the last 3 picks, September 1st, September 15th, and October 1st, I've made almost $10,000 with my purchases on those days. I am still up. I bought quite a lot more than what I currently have in the portfolio, but the actual gains in those are around $10,000. I'm up 1% on yesterday's. I'm up 20% and 15% on the September buys. So again, if you're worried about can I pay the $450 that I pay, can I make that back because I save you $50? I don't think it's a problem. Again, if you have the capital to spend, and it doesn't always go like this, I'm probably a little more experienced than most, but don't buy Alpha Picks and then put like $5,000 into it. You're not going to see the huge gains. Again, we're in a crazy market. It has been good. I don't want you to have FOMO. What I'd rather see you do is buy the combination, the combo, the premium bundle, premium and Alpha Picks together, because you get to do the research. Okay? And if you're interested, again, if you're interested in supporting me, if you're interested in this channel, I put out an October watch list. Okay, and this is for paid members of the newsletter. I'm not trying to hide this behind a paywall. All of these stocks have been brought up on this podcast. I just put it into a smaller section so that you can say, hey, these are the stocks that Gary's looking at. And I went over. August went really well, still moving. And then, September, really well. In fact, I give you for free in this newsletter. It's not behind the paywall. September, I gave you a screenshot of both August and September, what was in there. And how was the October watch list starting out? 5 of the picks yesterday were up between 4 and 5%. Again, great day. Does one day make a month? No. They ended the day weaker than 4 or 5%, around 3%. But the overall portfolio was up 0.84%, up 0.84%. If we just go and look at the data, was any of these indexes up 0.84%? No. Again, one day doesn't make a full year. 9 of the picks were up over 1%. But again, it was a good day. If we look at what outpaced, it was healthcare, it was technology, it was utilities, and what brought the market down, communication services, basic materials, and financials. What stocks? Now, let's look at what stocks performed the best in Q3. And I may have gone over this yesterday because the S&P, by the way, we notched another record. Another record despite a government shutdown. You would think with the government shutting down, the market just says ho hum. So what? 750,000 people just lost their jobs. Maybe can't pay their rent. Maybe can't pay their credit card. Ho-hum. Because they're looking past it. They're looking past it. So the market is a forward-looking mechanism. It should have freaked out a little. It's already priced in. What does that tell me? That tells me that probably when the government does open back up, when we start getting a good holiday season, this market may be ready to move. And the top Q3, as it closed, you can see Robinhood, Seagate, Western Digital, Palantir. You've heard me name all these names. Newmont, AppLovin, Micron. The one name that I haven't mentioned, Lam Research, maybe Warner Brothers. I've mentioned GE Vernova. And then the bottom ones, Lululemon. Are you going for a bottom feeder? Trading Desk. My dad still owns it. He doesn't want me to sell it. Deckers, Outdoor Corp. This is the shoe company. Gartner, CarMax, Dow, FactSet Research, Align, Constellation Brands. Again, these are the top performers. Go and chart them in Trendspider. See if there's any that you want to buy. Because when I look at the worst performer, the Trading Desk, when I look at this one, I say, ooh, short term, 200 days moving down. Ooh, short term, 50 days moving down. Everything's moving down. Since the 4-hour algorithm got in a buy there at 45, it's at 49. That's a pretty damn good move. And there's a gap up here all the way to 86. Do we cover that one? Again, Trading Desk, not my favorite, but it is still expensive. And this was a sell, by the way. It's still a sell in the quant. This is why you get Seeking Alpha, so you can look up the fundamentals and see why it's performing bad. The company has 3-month price performance of minus 29%, while the communication sector has a median of 6.95. It's basically a loser. Do you want to buy a loser and hope that it turns into a winner? Well, like I told my dad, we should have sold this a long time ago, and there are plenty of other places that I can make money, like Robinhood, like some of the winners. But that's not a stock chart that I want to go into. So what I did was I said, let me put on my thinking cap and let me use the tools that I have to try and find something in Q4 that might perform a little bit better. So I know that Trendspider, in the upper right-hand corner of your Trendspider, and there's a lot of people. Since so many people signed up for the fall sale on Trendspider, I've been working on ideas. I thought, let's go use Sidekick today. Okay, Sidekick is their AI. As a subscriber, no matter what plan you're on, you get 25 free messages a month. They don't stack up, so if you don't use them, you lose them. But 25 free messages per month. So I said, let's see if we can use Sidekick. And I don't know what to put in here. I don't know exactly what I want. You've got all kinds of different types. I automatically go to Karen, and you will see the response that I get is a total, can I talk to the manager kind of thing. I use Claude 3.7. I think they told me that Claude 4.5 works the best. But again, whichever one you want to use on Karen. And I instead of going out and asking it what I should ask, which is, by the way, AI prompt number 1, if you don't know what to ask it what to ask. So here I went in and said, can you help me write a prompt for Trendspider Sidekick to find stocks in the S&P that have seasonally strong positive win rate in the fourth quarter in the current year? They are underperforming the S&P. And it gave me the prompt. Would you like me to refine this into a more technical prompt with exact indicators? No, I didn't. I just wanted to look at that. So let's go back to Trendspider real quick, because I have this saved. And you can see, I literally just copy and pasted from Perplexity into here. And it went in and started calculating. And then, Karen responds, ugh, you're looking for some Q4 seasonal plays that are lagging the S&P. Fine. I've identified several stocks that meet your criteria. These stocks have historically performed well in Q4 with at least 65% win rate in one of the Q4 months, but are currently underperforming SPY's 14.1 year-to-date return. Part of the reason Sidekick is so good is because it's not trained on outside information. It's housed within Trendspider, and it doesn't go out to the internet and say, ooh, give me this. It just looks at Trendspider data. And that's why it's so good. So it gave me, here's what I found. Okay, and it gave me the symbols. I can go and look at these by just clicking on them. Okay, but let me go in and let me look at this a little bit further. UNH has the strongest overall Q4 seasonality, with all 3 months showing 65% win rate, yet it's dramatically underperforming with a minus 31% year-to-date return. If you're looking for mean reversion with strong seasonal tailwinds, this one stands out. Boom. Put it on a watch list. Costco has highest November win rate at a staggering 90%, but has barely moved this year. It's up 0.1%. Boom. Put it on a watch list. MasterCard has the highest average November return at 5.9% with a 74% win rate, while underperforming SPY by about 5% year to date. Boom, put it on a watch list. Verizon is interesting because it has strong seasonality across all Q4 months, win rates over 70%, and it's still underperforming SPY by 4%. Boom. Look, I don't want to play. This is Karen talking. This isn't me. Look, I don't want to play favorites with these losers. But if you had to pick the most promising candidates based on the combination of strong Q4 seasonality and current underperformance, UNH, Costco, and MasterCard stand out. Now, the next step, and again, I took this a little bit further, and I'm not super happy with the results, but I said, hey, can you set up a market scanner for this type of thing? So I can search the symbols, and it says perfect. Now I have enough information to guide you on setting up a market scanner. How to set up the market scanner. Boom, boom, boom. And you might say, ooh, that's perfect. You know, let's look at that. Well, it set it up for you. If we go over here to market scanner and I just look at underperformer, I saved it. Okay. So now you can scan those symbols and see which ones are seasonally done. If we just go over here, you know what? I'm going to put it in the 4-hour algorithm strategy, and I'm going to take these symbols, UNH, I have it on a watch list already. It was a buy at 246. Are you buying now at 348? Because look, if we look at the last 17 years, September was the time to buy. And look at the mean change in the last October, 17 years, 76, 75%. The next 2 months are up. The next one was Costco, which is in the core portfolio here. Doesn't have you in, set an alert. On your entry in the 4-hour algorithm, set an alert. Say, alert me. Click on the 3 dots in the bottom right and say, alert me when this happens on the entry. And boom, buy it when it enters. I think you get back to 2000 because look at this. Okay, November has a 100% win rate. When do you want to buy? You want to buy in October. Even though the win rate is only 1.37%, look at November. You want to know why? Black Friday. That's why. Seasonality. So again, overall, I love the chart that Sidekick pulled up. I love it. But I'm not sure I like the actual scanner, but I'm going to include the scanner for you to import into your system so you can play with it. For anybody that's new to Trendspider, this is a great exercise on how to take something that is given to you and manipulate it so that it comes up with things that you like. It's a great, great exercise. Now, that's how you take these tools and you work them to actually perform for you. They do the work. That literally took me 15 minutes before this show. You want to know how long that would take me in the past? Probably 3 to 4 hours to try and find something like that. It saves you time. And again, any of these tools, they're all available on Linktree. Please go to Linktree. There are too many people that just go to Trendspider directly and sign up, and then they email me and they say, hey, can I get your 4-hour algorithm? No, you're not under my affiliate program. You have to be under my affiliate program and sign up for an annual plan to get the 4-hour algorithm. And it takes you to this page. And the pricing, yes, you can get it for $50 a month at the lowest, the standard. If your budget allows you, get the enhanced, get the premium. They all come with enhanced benefits. But again, you don't need to get the higher one to get my 4-hour algorithm to start learning this tool and using it. Now let's go over some of the things that Premium gives you, because you can get Seeking Alpha Premium. Again, we're switching tools now from Trendspider to Seeking Alpha. They came out with 4 new tools, okay? One of the new tools is this trending topics, okay? On your homepage, it comes up with trending news, trending topics. It replaces the hot analysis, hot themes news. I think it's the same thing. One of the things that they did, which I thought was really good, was in closed-end funds like JQC. Okay, I've never looked at this, but closed-end funds, they included the net asset value right there. So the net asset value, look at this. It's trading at $5.35. The net asset value is $5.64. You're getting a discount of 5%. Ask Perplexity what that means. Maybe it's a good buying opportunity. And in advanced charting, if you pull up advanced charting, they included after hours and ADJ, which provides information on dividends, splits, and corporate actions. I don't use the advanced charts, but if you just got Premium, then you've got advanced charting if it's enough for you. Again, if that's enough for you, you can take a look at it. The biggest thing that they launched, and the coolest thing, again, I love Fridays because the Catalyst Watch comes out. But this is kind of cool. Seeking Alpha weekly investment quiz. They put out a quiz every Friday. I take it. I've loved it every Friday. It's like a little bit of trivia. So again, I would urge you, the bundle is where it's at because you save $159. Go to Linktree, sign up for the bundle. If the just Alpha Picks interests you, just get Alpha Picks. If it's just the premium content and you want to do your own research, get Seeking Alpha Premium and take the quiz every week. And by the way, if you just want premium, you get a free 7-day trial. So go and try it. So let's talk about things that underperformed for the last year. You know, again, I said at the beginning of the year, it's a GLP-1 market, and GLP-1s haven't done shit. Eli Lilly hasn't done crap. But yesterday, FDA won't accept new drug applications. Guess who's got the best drug portfolio in the market? It's Eli Lilly. It was up 8% yesterday. There's a lot more that's going on in healthcare. I don't exactly know what it is, but again, I say Eli Lilly, if you're interested in this one, it's a $900 stock. Why do I think that? Very simply. I mean, look at the chart. Now, I've got a lot of yellow lines here, and you're seeing a lot of like entries and exits, blah, blah, blah. Here's the key that you want to look at. The performance chart down below. Okay, Eli Lilly makes 53% versus a buy and hold of 49%. So the 4-hour algorithm does work. Okay, it wins 44% of the time on 27 positions over 24 months. It does work. How did I know it's a $900 stock? Well, I didn't. But hey, charts are like, I'm going for an Alzheimer's test tomorrow. It's kind of like your brain remembers stuff that you may not even know. Charts are like that too. Prices have a memory. And when you have a gap up here like this one, where it gapped down on their earnings, it's going to get filled. It's a good company with good products, with good profits and good management. And so I think it's going to get up there to $900. So I basically put that in the previous gap that was filled. You can see this one in October of last year. It got filled here in March. And then the stock just went down. Now, is it a loser? Well, the 200 days moving down. The 50-day is just crossing over the 200-day. If you look at a weekly chart, this was set to burst. Okay? And we are in a GLP-1 market. If you want to look at Eli Lilly, is it expensive? You damn well know it's expensive. But in the quant, it's been a hold. As it got down here to $730, it turned to a strong buy for a little bit. And you can see why. Well, because the valuation finally came into a D instead of an F. And as the price started to rise, the valuation changed on those days. And that's it. That's the only reason it goes there. And yes, it's expensive. 36 times forward earnings on the forward PE is expensive because the sector in pharmaceuticals trades at 18, which, by the way, is very cheap for pharmaceuticals. And if you don't know what any of that means, go up and hit Analyze with AI, and it'll pull it. Valuation is challenging with a price to book of 26, significantly higher than the sector of 3. Additionally, P is 34, notably above the sector of 25, reflecting higher pricing because it's best in class. So you're going to pay for it. So you go back here and say, well, where's a good entry on this one? Again, the 4-hour algorithm had you in at 763. You're at $816 right now. So had you just had an alert set up, you'd have that nice move. I would think that you're still going up to that 890. The drug lobby in Washington, very strong. Trump loves the drug lobby. He hates the drugs, loves the drug lobby. So again, you don't have to follow this stuff. You don't have to understand this. It's all very well laid out there for you. If the risk is worth the reward, go and do it. If I were setting this up and I were buying this at $825 to go up to that $800 to $900, and I would say, oh, well, is the risk worth the reward? Let's just see what the average Wall Street price target is, because if we go to Wall Street and we scroll down here, it's 888. That's a 7.6% move up. They think it's worth more, but I would identify where the bottom is. And for me, if I were buying at 825, I'd probably put the bottom at 795. And I would decide at 795, do I want to add more if it goes down there? Because I do think that it's worth it. And do I want to identify it as a long-term play? Or do I want to cut this loser and find another place in the market? You know, yesterday I brought up SoFi. SoFi drops for the 7th straight day. 7 days in a row SoFi has gone down. It's clear that Robinhood is the bank. When you just look at SoFi versus Robinhood, it is clear. It is crystal clear. If we just go in and select symbols, and we're going to type in hood here, and we're going to say, okay, these are the two kind of bank stocks that retail has really hung their hats on. And we look at this. So if we look at year to date, look, Hood has taken off. SoFi hasn't. If we go 1 year, Hood has taken off. SoFi's still giving you over 1 year a 237% gain. But Robinhood, the leader in the S&P, is up 523. So why do I like SoFi? I just think SoFi hasn't taken off the way Robinhood has. So one of two things has to happen. Either Robinhood has to come down or SoFi is going to take off. And I think SoFi is going to take off. I don't think Robinhood is going to go down. But SoFi here in the 4-hour algorithm, it makes you 196% versus 248%. Is it expensive? Yeah, it's expensive. Absolutely. The valuation here, 81 times forward earnings. That's expensive. Its PEG ratio is 3. That's why I like Robinhood better. Is Robinhood expensive? Yep. It's got a lower PEG ratio and it's got a lower PE. Just simple, choice on that part. But don't give up on SoFi. SoFi is up 2% today. Robinhood is up 1%. Which one has more room to run? I'd say SoFi if they can continue their growth, because their growth is phenomenal. It's 29%. Now, when you look at Robinhood, it's 59%. That's going to be harder for Robinhood to continue that one. So, again, I love this one. And then I'm going to bring up another one that I noticed yesterday, Netflix. There's this ridiculous cancel Netflix movement here on X, on Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Personally, I think it's ridiculous, and FYI, it's just out of control. What the cancel culture of the conservative movement is starting to do, but it's something to watch. The PE of Netflix has not been much higher, okay? This is a 10-year look at the PE of Netflix. You can see it's going down. So the PE it's not expensive historically, okay? But they were growing more. And again, if you go and just look at Netflix, we're going to pull this up and we look at Netflix and you look at the quant. Is it a buy? No, it's a hold. But it's been a hold forever. The only time it was a buy was back here at 866. And yes, you should have bought it. And if this one dips down under $1,000, I'm going to be loading into this. But is there an actual trend of cancellations? Because that's where you're going to get hurt. Because you can see the growth is an F, but the valuation is an F, but growth is the key. If this starts to dip, you don't get that valuation anymore, and the price will come down. Now, Wall Street thinks this one's a $1,300 stock. But again, Wall Street monkeys always chase this up. Now let's look at the chart, because I want to show you something on a daily chart. And I posted this last night on Twitter, but on a daily chart, if you just look at this, okay, we are under this 50-day. You're just kind of hanging out there, but yesterday's put us under the 50-day, and it started under the 50-day. And that's this blue line right here. The blue shade, that's called Bollinger Bands. Okay, you can go and look those up, a 50-day moving average, SMA, and a Bollinger Band. Go and look them up if you don't understand that. But again, here is the 50-day line right there. When have you wanted to buy in the past? When it's under its 50-day. And then you factor in the actual indicators like MACD, which is one of the strongest indicators out there if you go and back test it. And that's what my 4-hour algorithm is based on. But again, the MACD, super low. RSI, which measures a relative strength index. Are buyers showing up? No. Everybody's selling because it's at 37. Which means if it's a strong product, you want to buy this. Guess what's happening on Christmas Day? Freaking Netflix NFL again. Okay? They have, in the fourth quarter, you have another one, I think, Stranger Things is coming out again in fourth quarter. It's a big, will people start to subscribe for that stuff? I just think the cancel portion is overblown. I think this is when it's getting a dip. I will add to it. When the 4-hour algorithm tells me to. Okay, you can see it on your screen. It got you out. When's it going to get me back in? I don't know. I've got an alert set up. I want to add to this name. I got out of this name at I think just around $1,000. I'm not out of it completely. I sold half my lot. I never got back in. I think I may have added a little bit since then, but not enough. I didn't add the 50% that I took out and locked profits in. Your average win in the 4-hour algorithm is 11%. You win 55% of the time. So again, I like this stock. I like taking advantage of that opportunity. So this is just a quick look at what I did yesterday. I just looked at these things. Again, alpha picks, we scalped. Q3, I wanted to find stocks that were big on Q4. I used Trendspider, Sidekick, and Perplexity AI. Boom, tools that I have in front of me. And then the new Seeking Alpha Premium features. I went over just JQC. If that tickles your little belly, if you got a little belly that's saying, ooh, I need JQC, which is an income fund, and I want to find net asset value that's lower, my net asset value that's higher, giving me a discount, boom, tickles your belly. Maybe you want to look at stuff like that. Seeking Alpha gives you that opportunity. And then just the stocks that I went over, Eli Lilly, SoFi versus Hood, and Netflix. So this is coming up with the whole tools as to how I manage my portfolio and how I use those tools. So everybody that got Trendspider during the fall sale, kudos, go out and use it. Everybody that's gotten Seeking Alpha and Alpha Picks, boom, go out and use it, because I'm using Alpha Picks to make 5 figures in a very short amount of time. And yes, I may put more money in. It's the risk reward. Don't get FOMO. Understand that I may have more risk tolerance than you. I may trust Alpha Picks more than you. I may trust the 4-hour algorithm more than you. But those things don't absolutely 100% make me money. Okay, they never will. There is never a guarantee in the market. You have to take risk. But like I told a friend the other day, I talked to 2 friends. I'll give you the first one. And I said, your cash in your bank account, it's not making you money. The dollar is at a super low. The dollar's not making you money. Bonds, you can get 4%. Great. S&P's up 20%. Why are you happy with 4%? You can get 4%. If you think the market's going to crash, locking in 4% in bonds makes sense. Because if the market crashes, you're still getting the 4% if the government, has the money to pay you. But again, private, like, Apple bonds or Microsoft bonds or even Oracle bonds, they're going to pay you a little bit more than the government because they're saying, well, AI's making all this money. We're going to be able to pay it back. Now, the second person that I talked to was my friend who has been a VOO buyer over the years, 20 years of buying VOO and QQQ. That's it. And he's done very well. Has no risk tolerance whatsoever. I gave him access to Alpha Picks. 4 or 5 months ago? Send me a message like, dinner's on me. This is a guy who never bought me dinner before. Dinner's on me. It's done him that well. So again, these are things that I talk to my own personal friends. This is how I manage my stuff. Whether you like it or not, the tools are not necessary for you to make money. Just make sure that you have a toolkit and you have the ability to back test things because we are in a scary market. The market didn't care about that government shutdown. We are not getting any information on jobs from the government. We are not getting any information on GDP or the percent. We are stuck out of information. And the last Trump government shutdown lasted for close to 30 days. I didn't look what the poly market says now, but yesterday they said it was going to be closed for 10 days. I think it's going to be longer. So that's your show. Enjoy it. I will talk to you tomorrow. See you. Bye. Remind me later. I will get to your questions once I put this into my I thought today was a really good show. Like if you put a couple of episodes in a row, this would be one that you would probably include in your, say, 5 episodes. This would be like episode number 5, I think. And it would be like, oh my God, that's so good. Such good ideas. Oh. Penny liked it. Fucking Penny. Okay, we're going to take that out. We're going to break that. We're going to say subscribe on YouTube as the first one. And then we're going to go in here and say green screen. And we're going to take that, copy, boom, boom, boom. And we're going to say subscribe there. And we're going to say green screen, copy, boom, boom. Okay. Export file. Now what's the title of this one? Oh, I've got to go to, there we go. Copy, I got to put this up in my notes. And we're going to name this that. Save, okay. Boom. Yes, I am here. Lisa, let's see. The alpha pick went up 3% when I could get it, so did not purchase. Yeah. Good choice. Yeah. I mean, there's probably close to 1 million. I don't know. I mean, my guess is you're at 400,000 or 500,000 Alpha Picks members. So people may be buying 1 or 2 shares. I mean, if you go and look at, I can't go and look at it on air here, but if you go and look at the comments, people hate. People are subscribed and they're freaking hating on the pick. And yes, Meat Stick, I just do ads now. I just do ads because I just gave you UNH is the strongest in the 4th quarter. Just ads. And yes, the products make you money. Well, was a 4-hour algorithm. Look, it says buy and hold. And then just, hey, let's go check out something like Tesla. People love to trade Tesla. 4-hour algorithm makes you 111% over the last 2 years versus 80. It's right on your screen versus 83%. It's up 4.3. Again, I've made enough yesterday to pay for Alpha Picks just yesterday. So I can't look at it here, but Let's do a YouTube thumbnail. My buddy called me yesterday. He's like, dude, your thumbnail yesterday was awesome. I'm getting comments on the thumbnails. And people do tune in, I guess, just for the thumbnails. Let's do this one. Let's put this, and we'll put in a Gary. Yeah, we'll just put in this guy. I'm that guy. And we're gonna just take these, move them down a little bit, and we'll take this. No, I want to highlight this. You going to the gym?
No, I'm gonna teach.
You're gone for the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be back around 2.
I'm at the accountant's.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
I'm gonna say 1,000. I'm not gonna go crazy with it. That's 122. Yeah, that's 122. They're both 122. Copy, paste. I haven't used it, Rob, but I like it. I mean, just from the name of it, I like it. I think I don't have any thoughts because I honest to God, Rob, and I say this a lot, but my Trendspider setup is so locked in with just this that on the other setups, like I think I get like 5 setups or 4 setups, something like that. I don't even have like the top tier. They don't give me the freaking top tier. I'm locked into whatever I paid for is what they told me back as a paying customer. Oh, you're locked into that. But if you need extra, let us know and we can just, expand some stuff. But I'm locked into that. And my system, again, I use Trendspider like I use an analyst that tells me yes, go, or no, sell. And so I look at I can literally I've gotten so used to the 4-hour algorithm and these yellow lines that I put in for support and resistance, just based on previous highs and pullbacks and stuff, that's all I need. But those indicators, like if you just go up here and look at these indicators that Trendspider has, I mean, you could go all day and just find an ultimate oscillator, ultimate RSI, volatility stop, vertical horizon. I mean, and that's just V's. True strength index, trailing stop anchored, VWAP, all of this stuff. TW pivot. I've used a lot of them, but I'm locked in on just your traditional RSI, your traditional MACD, some moving averages, Bollinger Bands, volume slider, and it's very simple and clean for me. And my friends look at this and they're like, oh my God, it's an absolute mess. Well, for me, I know in Tesla, if we pull back to 400, I'm going to look for it to pull back into this gap, and that's where I'm going to buy. If we use 400 as a support level on a pullback and it bounces back up, then I can absolutely get rid of this 300. So, let's see. What color do I like? No, let's see. Let's see, purple. Does purple look cool? Positions, we're going to backward. Oh. We're gonna let's take this, copy, paste. We're gonna say and we're gonna shrink that down. And we're gonna do purple, copy, and we're gonna say Q4. Boom, boom. There we go. I like this to be a little bit bigger. And we're going to raise this up a little bit and center it on the page. There we go. Uploads, we're going to just put in Trendspider. I'm not going to use logos. Well, you know what? I will. Let's put this up here. I'll put Trendspider and Seeking Alpha. Down there. And we'll put Q4 winners. Those were, let's see, we have United Healthcare and Costco. You too, Josh. United Healthcare, let's see. Costco. Uploads. Micron, Delta. I know I have United Healthcare somewhere. There it is. United Healthcare. And MasterCard, let's see, MasterCard logo. Visit and original file, save as, MasterCard logo, save, boom, boom, and then we'll upload file, downloads, MasterCard, boom, we'll put this one in. There we go. Maybe I don't want purple in that. Maybe I want more yellow. And let's just click that and put that up there. Put this up there. Boom. And we'll say, there we go. And I actually want it lined up with that. There we go. Download. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here and do my my thing of uploading. You guys have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Good luck. And the most recent alpha pick, I hope you loaded into that one with it being up 5%. Okay. Take care. See ya. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.